Good to have you here, man. Thank you. And Ryan, you already answered? I don't know.
What?
You already answered or not?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. So present yourself.
My name is Rian, but if you can call me Ryan, like Heitor.
Ryan is more fancy. It's more fancy, yeah.
Yeah. I'm 29 years old. I live in São Gonçalo do Amarante, near Natal, the capital of Rio Grande do Norte.
That's it. So thank you, man. And let's see, Atamis. Good to see you here too.
Hi. So obviously I'm Atamis. Who else? I'm
Are you living? What are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? We not have so much time, but
yeah, I'm working right now. Yeah, I live in England, southwest of England. I'm an artist, multi-artist, dietitian, and I like to dance. I found out last weekend I really like dance, but I have to be more how can I say that, more relaxed to do that, and that's it. Yeah,
really good. And you discovered that you like it to dance. That what kind of music you discovered that you like it?
I went to wedding, and there's like rock and soul music. Yeah, any kind actually. I was dancing rock in a Brazilian funk style. The people were, what?
The best way to dance.
You have a swing. Yes, I do.
Really nice. So guys, to start it, I will read the first question. So the first one is, why there are standards that we need to fulfill to be accepted on the society? What do you think, Ryan?
Well, it's a tough question, because when we think the standards, who create the standards? I think we created the standards. The society create the standards, and we following the standards. But it's a choice. It's a choice, and if you are not to follow the standards, we can not choose to follow. But at the same time, depending on the environment we live, if we don't follow the standards, we are out.
Yes, I got it. And agree. Part agree. Agree. What do you think, Atamis?
Actually, the standards of the stereotypes of gender we live in, it's white people, European invention, historically talking, because it's the way to keep the society tight in the white people hands. So the marriages, the things, it's about money and heritage. So I think we don't accept, we are forced to live in this. So because if you look at like the native Latin Americans, not Latin Americans because native, but the indigenous native from Latin America right now, there wasn't this kind of stereotype of genders or these standards. much more than two genders. So I think we accept because we were forced to live in, and we still do, because it's not easy. Like Ryan, who was talking? Sorry, Ryan. He said when we are out, it's very hard to support this because the society just don't like it.
Yeah, I agree too. And for you, Anli, what do you think about it, about these standards?
You don't know the meaning of standard.
The meaning with the how can I explain standard? It's like stereotypes. In Portuguese, padrões, padrões de beleza, padrões de vestimenta, vestir.
All right. Okay. Yeah. The standard, for example, in my country is great because we have some rule where we follow, and yeah, every people can need this, can be respected, because if you be behind of this role, you can't be great with the, I mean, with the community. Yes.
Yes, and it's like that. That is that way. It's good, really good. That's it. Jefferson, for you. What do you think about it?
The standards a cultural question, no? It's gonna change along the time. If you think about 30 years ago, 9 years ago, 1 year ago, everything is going to change. The society's changed. The social media all the time, right? Construction, new cultures, new standards all the time. I think this is good because the society is evolving. You have an evolution. I believe in evolution of the society. When you have new models, new ways of think about the society, new ways of think about the environment. So it's good. That's a good question.
Let's see, Michelle, good to see you here. Well, I will send for you the questions because I think you don't get it.
No, but I can't see the questions.
Oh, I think Michelle.
What's now?
Oh, okay.
Questions good now.
Michelle, could you answer the first one? That is, why there are standards that we need to fulfill to be accepted on society?
I think it's because we need to be a part of a group, and each group and society have standards. But in the same time, it's not so good, this kind of situation, because there is some standards that only try to turn us different, to have privilege. So I think it's important, because when we talk about the culture, about the ethnics, it's important to maintain the standards, the philosophy of our culture. But in the same time, we can think about it as a law for everyone. I think it's my thought for now.
Yeah, a good way to think. I like it. And Bianca, for you, what do you think about it?
So there are many, many, many standards, but the one we are talking about, and I think since this is the main conversation, is about gender, and this specific kind of standard, I believe it exists mainly because of patriarchy, and that has been carried by centuries and centuries since who knows how many years ago, and people didn't question about why it had to be that way. I mean, they questioned it, that's why they are changing now, but for a lot of time until today, there are a lot of people that benefits from these standards. So it wasn't a good profit to, you know, think and try to change it, because, you know, if you are a girl if you are a boy and you don't have too many about your gender roles so much, you need to be strong. Of course, you're still gonna face problems. As the video said, you cannot feel your emotions as other people because then you're weak. But at the same time, you can still profit from it. You will have a lot of other professions that you can get that are mainly made for men. So I believe this still happens because people that profit from it still want to profit from it. That's my point of view.
I got it, and totally agree. I think we will talk this about the second question too, but it's totally agree, and the difference of the gender of these problems too, totally. And how about you, Mateus?
So we have here an interesting question. I'm the last one. I was able to hear many opinions here, and
Yeah.
so the first thing, in my opinion, I think each society has their own standard. You know, a lot of times, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, um, always had some standards, and some of that standards I wouldn't agree. You know, in my opinion, I wouldn't like, you know, certain standards, especially about clothes and something like that, like behavior. You know, I wouldn't like so much. However, I think we have some standards, as someone here talked before, um, kind of help us to evolve as a society, you know. And another go said something interesting. Some standards like preserve our society, you know, our culture, and it's interesting. Think about that, because sometimes we only think um, as a standards as something bad, you know, but we have some beneficials. We follow standards. On the other hand, we need to be careful about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think both exist, you know, and one didn't exclude other, and that is an important point. So, Michael, hey, good morning, man. You are a little late, but I let you win, you know. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. I'm good too. So I send here the questions again. We are on the number two now. That it's, which activities do you remember as mean for your biological sex when you were a kid and as an adult? Have you ever asked why? Like some activities for me, some activities that I used to be when I was a boy and now when I was a man. And even if I ever ask why I did it to do this or do that. What do you think, Michael? You remember some things that you need to do when you are a kid or as an adult because you are a man or you are a boy?
Yeah, definitely. I remember that I didn't like to play sports as a kid. I didn't like to play football or anything, and I always like to play with the girls. I used to like at gym classes. We used to go out and I used to play with the girls. We used to play queimada, if you guys know what that means. And I was often like ridiculized by the boys because they didn't like that I was playing with the girls. And also, I also remember that I had an aunt that um, she had a deficiency, and she is like 36 years old, but she's like a kid, and she always used to ask me to play dolls with her. And I remember that my dad wouldn't let me, because that was for girls, but I did it anyway. And like, I'm fine today. I'm still a man.
Yes. And let's see now one girl, Bianca. For you, some activities are some things that you need to do because you are a girl. And now, or now you are older, if changed or not.
As for me, I think it would be having kids. Since I was younger, I never wanted to have kids, even as a playful thing like babies and etc. I never wanted to have kids, and my family would be enraged because of me. They were like, but I want to bring children and stuff like that. But I never wanted to have children. So as I grew older, I had the confirmation that I don't want to have kids, but it allowed me to keep thinking why I didn't want to. And I'm gonna be honest, I was never a person that get along with kids. For one side, though, because kids love me. I don't know why, but I don't know how to act in front of kids. I don't know how to deal with kids. I never knew. So it's completely unexpected for them to like me. So, but also as I grew older, I started to realize that it is a lot of pressure and it's a great responsibility, because basically anything that you do, you can lead it to a trauma for your kid for the rest of their life. So this is a pressure that I don't want to take it. I don't want that from me. So I started to realize that, yeah, and by the way, nowadays my family accept this decision because they tried so much, but I never changed my opinion. So they just, okay, that's how it's gonna be.
Good to hear. Good to hear that change. And let's see. For you, Anli, do you remember some activities when you were a boy that you need to do because you were a boy, and now because you are a man? Oh, you are muted. You're muted. I can't hear you. You are muted. You're muted. Now it's working.
Yes, okay. Yes. Yeah, when I was a child, I used to have fun so much. I was just playing football with my friends all time. Just I spend nothing or just playing, and I didn't organize my life. For example, to follow something. Yes, it was just fun. Yeah, kidding with my friends. Yeah, and now everything changed. I had to organize my life. Yes, yeah, to have something to follow. For example, work and studying. Yes, it was just it.
I got it. I got it. And let's see for you, Ryan.
So when I was a kid, the main activity do I remember is don't play with dolls. I think it's a classic. I'm 29 years old, so almost 3 years ago, it's uh, it's it's uh, it's it's normal think like this, but today, uh, now we can talk more about this, and no offer uh, offense or be discriminated. And the activity now is walk or be friends gay. Be friends gay. Uh, some of friends or some of people of my family don't um, I don't know if I say this, but I not don't want I'm a friend of a gay. I don't know if you were understand me. And something changed the situation. Something interesting occurred with me and my wife in the last week. We have a son, R2, 4 years old, and we watched a soccer game, Brazil, the female team. And when he saw the women play football, he said, "Dad, change the channel. This is boring." And we thinking why he's having this. And when we watch the TV, it's hardly we see uh, a game when we saw women playing football. Just in the moment, how can I say Olympiads? Olympics? Just in the moment, Olympic game, we saw in the TV uh, so many women playing so many sports. And one point we have to discuss when we talk about activities is the education. And in that moment, when he said that was boring, uh, my wife and I talked to him, to explain that it's normal. Men play and women play too.
I got it. I got it. Now I got it. Now I got it. And and the Olympics game is a good example of this, about women and men doing every kind of sports equal, equally. So that's a good example to do for your kid. It's a really good one. And let's see, Michelle. And for you, do you remember some activities that it means for you being a girl when you were, because you were a girl and now a woman, something changed?
Yes, and when I was young, my dad didn't let me play soccer, but I did it. I hide there of him, but I wanted to play in competitions, but he didn't let me do it. But in the same time, I had a lot of experiences doing things that men do, and connecting with the subject of this week. I started to work when I was 12 years old. So I had a responsibility, and in this point, I have a problem with the feminist agenda, because the Black woman is not looking for to have a right to work. We need the right for respect, and to earn the money that we deserve. There is a lot of conflicts in this kind of discussion. That is it.
Yes, and sadly, this happened, I think, all the time in all the kind of sectors of working and jobs, and that's totally a good point. And for you, Atamis?
Which activities?
Yeah.
I think I like Michelle. I made many things like hidden from my parents, but not because they are like everybody is, but homophobic or transphobic anyway. Everybody is in many different levels. But I remember when the thing I didn't do so early in my life was dating guys or girls. I was 16, almost 17. I wasn't interested in dating anyone. I really like play music and watch cartoons and read books. And once my father went to, I think it was the first time my father, and the first and the last one, my father said, we have to talk. And I said, oh my God, he's gonna talk about sex. I don't want to, I don't want to hear. Oh my God. And he said, people are saying you are lesbian. I said, really? Okay, I say, okay, I am lesbian. What do you do? I'm not, but if I was, I wasn't. But I feel pressured to start dating guys. And once just a short story, a guy knocked my door. I don't know if someone sent him there. And he said, do you want to kiss me? And I said, okay, I'm 17 almost. I never kissed anyone. And I kissed him just once and bye, go go away. I don't want to know about you anymore. So yeah, I think I wasn't too old to not dating anyone. So I didn't, they had expectations about it.
Yes, it's so unfair expectations. And just because you focus on your music playing, and she is lesbian. No sense at all. No sense at all, But for me, it's happened something like that. No, I'm always like to dance. I love dance and dancing. What kind of music, I don't, I don't matter what. So in some parties and some places, I dancing better and more than so many women, So I dance, no matter what. And some guys, some friends of used to be a friends, get away or exclude me because of that. But this doesn't mean that I'm different because of that, or I'm stopped do it. So I still dance. I love dancing and all. So I wish that I started to dancing class earlier because I really love it, dance and salon dance too. I started to dancing classes, I think, when I was in my university, but it was really cool, really cool. And the sports too. I was pushing to be an awesome player, soccer player, but I am not. I totally not. But I like it. I like it to play. I like it to play soccer, basketball. Prefer handball, but yes, but I'm not a good player. That we have some different pressures, but we have these pressures all the time. When I was a kid, and even when we became an adult too. So this is about the depression standards bring us. Oh my God, it's almost out of time. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I wanted to skip some questions. And I want to start with you, Michelle, that you're talking about it. The number 7, it's about do the place where you work or study have initiatives to promote diversity? And what do they do? If not, do you think they should do?
I'm a micro entrepreneur, so MEI in Brazil, and I don't have contact with how I can say
Of other,
I don't see the diversity, the inclusion of the diversity today. I can see representation of it. In the last month, I had a problem with during an interview because the interviewer said to me that I'm not a logic person. The interviewer said that I couldn't get the job because I'm not a logical person. So I don't think he equal her. It was so stupid for me, and I published it on LinkedIn because there are a lot of companies with this problem. I hide the name of the company because my intention is not to talk bad things about anyone, but I want to talk this problem we have in our society. That's it.
Yes, and for me too. It's a stupid thing to it's just it's like to saying that just to fake a whole conception that they have before. So no, come on, come on. Let's see for you, Ryan. The place you work, it's different.
I worked at a multinational here, and since the first day I was hired, when I was in the onboarding of the entrepreneur, they showed the diversity policies. So it was in 2016, and just only now, 2 or 3 years ago, we are discussing a lot about the topic. But in this place, when I worked since 2016, there we discussed these topics. And when I see all the functions we have there, we saw the diversity in these positions.
I got it. And I think that the company try it, more nowadays with the politics of diversity and other things. But it's just a step, no? It's not all the kind of things here are good now, or we are on a paradise, or not yet, but it's a step and a good step, and we can keep doing this. Let's see. Atanis. Oh, the others. I think the internet.
The place where I work.
Yeah, I know that we work with different things, But, let me know about the diversity initiative in England, for example. How is it?
There's no.
There's no.
There's
Oh,
no.
okay.
It just I live in a place. I know maybe I'm just run out to the subject, but I live in a place, a very white man place, city. The sentence to define the city I live is: if you are not white, you are not from here. So I went to a wedding, I said, last Saturday, and people were so standard, and the all rules you can imagine. And I was exotic there again. Anyway, but as a dietitian, people say more nutritionist in Brazil than dietitian. They are the same and different things, and the different things at the same time. So I work as a dietitian, but I'm a nutritionist as well. There's no diversity. There are some men nutritionists or dietitians, and they are more people respect they more like scientists, and we just do diets. Like everybody asks, do a diet for me, do a diet for me, like, and we are seen as a minor thing. So there's no diversity in my profession. So I think we are far away from this, to this and from. Anyway.
Totally. And I imagine that it would be like that, when I ask it. It's a tough thing. Totally. How about you, Michael?
I finished school last year, and I'm not working currently, but I'm going to a pre-university course, and it's a private space. But these days, I've been noticing a few things that I wasn't noticing before about racial things, like minorities and these kind of stuff, because I've read a book from the author is Djamila Ribeiro. She's a philosopher, a Brazilian philosopher. She's Black, and she speaks about Blackness in general, and also about feminism. And she speaks in her book about how private spaces are destined to only white people. And I had this example in my class because one day I was watching my history class, and we were talking about the slavery that happened centuries ago. And my friend and I were talking during the class, and then we took a look around, and there were absolutely no Black people in that class. It was 45 people, no Black, no mestizos, nothing, all white people. And we noticed that that place, it is quite an expensive place, and Black people are actually marginalized by a system that does not allow them to grow economically and financially, so they can be a part of these spaces. Yeah, that's my
Yes.
example.
Yes.
It's pretty bad, pretty horrible.
I think we realize that this when we experience more and we read, like you said, you read a book written by a Black woman. That's a really important one. That's that's how we got reference, and that is really important. And let's see, people come back. Hey, welcome back. Let's see who. Leo and Rachel. Heitor too. So Rachel, how was the conversation in your room? How's
Yes.
the highlights? Do you like it?
Yes, I really like it, and it was so great and interesting. The necessary topics about society and about our it's really necessary to think about these equalities and about the things and about I don't know, live respect our freedom and freedom to everybody.
Yes, that's the main point. Respect. With that we can do anything. What do you think, Leo? Hey, I wanted to see about you too.
Yeah, guys, that was really good topic. And I don't remember. I don't know if you said at the beginning, but in this week we will talk about LGBTQ plus during whole day week. So it's really important to talk about it and try to people think about it and so an equal society. And I think this is the biggest point in the meeting.
Yes, and I talked how important it is, because it's I think the first time that we did this, that we have done this with the topic for a whole week, and then that's really important, And here we talk about it too, how difficult it is to, in the consequence of this unequal society, and how to become this. It's really difficult to know what the cause about it, but we need to deal with the consequence and trying to fight for this, know more about this. Like this, we have this conversation that makes all the difference. And I think Aprendi and TNT, it's about this, to talk not only about common topics about, let's talk about foods, let's talk about, no, we talk about everything. I'm learning about a lot, growing as a person too here too. So I wanted to thank you all for this time in this Monday morning, and I wish you a nice week. But wait a minute. We don't have any more the feedback form, so I will send here the link of. You can click here on the YouTube to give some comments about this topic, about this conversation, on comments on our video on YouTube. And also, I wanted to talk about the WhatsApp group that we didn't have more the message or the broadcast on Telegram. We send out here about the topic, what is the topic, and about you could be the answers to the questions about the topic too. So if you wanted to know more about the WhatsApp group, you can see in this link. Let me see. And there you go. No, yeah. So guys, I wish you all a nice week, nice day. Please let's rethink and resignify other kind of things that we can do in this week. Let's talk more about it. We will talk a lot, and this is so important. So thank you all, and have a nice week, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Have a great week, guys.